Hi guys and welcome to the Battle of the YouTube Puzzlers 5. I cannot believe that we've been doing that for 3 years already. It's been insane. Thank you everyone so much for joining in and making this happen. But anyway, this time we're doing things a little bit differently. We are calling this battle Trinity because there's 3 puzzlers doing the same puzzle 3 times around. Now, let me first introduce you to my competitors, even though if you're watching live, you've already seen them. But we've got Donnalouise from For the Love of Puzzle representing New Zealand, and Vicky from Vicky Makes and Builds representing the United Kingdom. And there's obviously me representing Slovenia. Whoop whoop! Anyway, quickly just going through the rules. I know you've already heard everything, but in case this is the video you're watching first, after the fact, I just wanted to quickly say no spoilers in the comments and of course enjoy the show. Everything is going to be linked between each other, so if you're watching at a later date, you just have to keep pressing next. And obviously, if you are competing, you can put your times into the Google form that's going to be linked in the description box below. And what else is there? Nothing. Let me tell you the change of the rules. So like I mentioned, 3 puzzlers doing the same puzzle 3 times around. Let me show you the puzzle. It's a 500-piece puzzle by Clementoni, and the title of this one is Stairs. So I've already done this puzzle in preparation for the Worlds last year, so I already have a time on it. It was 58 minutes and 7 seconds. Now, the reason why we are doing the puzzle 3 times this time is because we want to level out the playing field, because sometimes it happens, so many people are speed puzzling and sometimes we pick a puzzle that some people have already done and then that gives them an advantage, which is not fair to others. That's why we say you're allowed to do the puzzle up to 3 times this time and then just mark your fastest time in there. So like I mentioned, I've already done it once. My time was 58 minutes and 7 seconds. That was in the height of preparation for the Worlds. I've already been speed puzzling a lot that year, but this time, this is gonna be my first speed run this year. So yeah, I'm a bit rusty, but that's not even the main concern. My main concern is the weather, because I don't know how much you can see because editing helps a lot, but it's basically forecast and it's raining. So it's really difficult to compare the times that I'm gonna get today to the times that I got in the middle of the summer, but I'm gonna try my best to beat my previous times. And without too much talking, I think it's time to just jump straight into it. And like I mentioned, we are doing the puzzle up to 3 times now, which means that I've done it twice more. So let's see what happened. Sometimes it can be quite difficult to do the same puzzle the second time around after a long time, because you kind of remember what you were doing last time, but you don't remember enough for it to be helpful for you. So sometimes it's even more confusing. And with this puzzle, I remember that I had a thought that staircase was the easiest thing to begin with when I was doing the puzzle the first time around. So immediately, without thinking, I just went for the staircase. And is that a good thing to do? I don't honestly know, because maybe if I start with something else, my time could be completely different. It could be a lot better or a lot worse, but I don't know because I basically did the same thing. But regardless of that, like I mentioned, the light helps so much. So I did the puzzle for the second time last night because I didn't want to have too much to do in one day. So I did the puzzle in the evening without any daylight. I even had my shades down. And I have to say that it makes such a difference not having any natural daylight, because you want it or not, the pieces always have a little bit of reflection when you have the lights on, unless it's like a proper fully matte finish, and even then the colors look different with the daylight. But I didn't want to use that as an excuse. That's why I decided I'm gonna do the puzzle for the 3rd time today with the daylight, so there are no excuses for this battle. In a way, it's quite fun to play around with the light because you can see what difference does it make to your time. So you've seen both time lapses now. Should I reveal the times or should I not? I could just keep you hanging. No, I'm kidding. But anyway, I have to admit that when I was doing the puzzle the second time around, I actually wasn't sure if I beat my time or not, because all I knew is that I had 58 minutes. I had no idea what the seconds were. So when I was puzzling and I saw the time coming close to 58 minutes, and then I got past it, you know, I actually didn't know if I beat my time until after I checked the results from last time. But anyway, my time for this puzzle was the second time around 58 minutes and 51 seconds. So then when I checked my first time, I realized that I was slower. Now I cannot fully blame the daylight for that because, you know, yesterday I was probably more tired because it was in the evening. So there are always multiple factors that can influence the time that you get on a puzzle. That's why I decided I'm gonna do it the third time around this morning, because I wanted to be rested and I wanted to sort of have a daylight. Even if it's a winter daylight, it's still daylight, so I'm gonna take it. You know, so what was the time that I got this morning? Should I tell you? Okay, let's do it. Drum rolls. It was 52 minutes and 7 seconds, which means that I beat my first time by 6 minutes. And I think that's quite a lot. And yeah, it's interesting because it feels like the first time when I was doing the puzzle, well, the first time after 6 months, which means yesterday, I couldn't really help myself with trying to remember what I did the first time around because so much time has passed and I've done so many puzzles in between that I couldn't really, you know, kind of help myself by remembering what I did the first time, except for the stairs. That's the only thing I remembered. And then doing it now the second time around, I already knew exactly like which pieces go where, because like for instance this bottom section, I don't know how much you can see, let me show it here. So this bottom section has a very specific like a pattern because it's completely straight and it's really easy to find these pieces, which for instance those two are not that easy to find. And even then you realize that the colors are gradient, so it's easier to go from one direction to the other. It's like you just look for the greens and just find the greens, then the yellows, then the pinks, then the blues. So it's really easy to go like from one direction to the other, if that makes sense. Which when I was doing the puzzle for the first time, well, the first time after 6 months, which means the second time around, I forgot all of those things because it's been so long since I've done the puzzle first. But then when I did it the third time around, I knew all the details because it only passed like what, 12 hours between the two puzzles, and that was really helpful. So I think the time frame also makes a difference, like how much you can improve, because if you do the same puzzle day after day after day, or even in the same day, like let's say in a week's time, you're gonna definitely see so much improvement. I think the most you can probably get. But then if you do the puzzle once and then revisit it 6 months later or a year later, it's almost like you're doing it for the first time. And I think that's also a good thing because now I know that the puzzles that I put in the basement, you know, from the walls that I'm gonna revisit before going to the walls this year, that if I don't puzzle them, if I don't see them, if I don't think about them, it's actually gonna be more accurate because I've seen the proof now, you know. I mean, maybe that's just me. Maybe some other people have better memory, but I don't think my memory is that great when it comes to puzzle. I just do too many and I forget too quickly. There's too much going on in my life for me to remember specifics about the puzzle. So that's gonna be it. I hope you enjoyed the videos. Don't forget to join in the battle. All the details are gonna be in the description box below. And obviously, if you can, please like and subscribe to all of our videos on our channel so we can keep making content like that for you. Because the Battle of the YouTube Puzzlers, I think, have been so successful, and we are so grateful for each and every one of you to participate in the battle. And yeah, go crazy with the puzzle, I guess. This one should be available across the entire world, so hopefully as many as you can join as possible. And just to repeat myself, no spoilers in the comments, and everything's gonna be linked between each other, so if you're watching this at a later date, you just have to keep pressing next. So that's gonna be it for today, and I'm gonna see you next time. Bye!